Hello there everyone, Rothbart here, and welcome to another installment of Sulli-Ween. Well, last week I did my top 10 favorite animated Disney villains, and now I'm going over my next list, my top 10 favorite animated non-Disney villains. Number 10. Boris and Natasha from The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Though a comedic duo, Boris and Natasha are always making schemes while following orders from Fearless Leader, and while also getting rid of Rocky and Bullwinkle from either foiling their schemes or being a part of them. But every time Rocky or Bullwinkle come around, it's always Boris that falls for his traps, and once in a while Natasha. But what's good about them is not their traps, their schemes, or them being foiled. It's their voices, disguises, and attitude. Especially Boris. He's the funniest of the pair. And both of them together make a funny, scheming, and very enjoyable pair of villains, and always being foiled by Moose and Squirrel. Number 9. Thrax from Osmosis Jones. Though he's not shown as much in the film, he's still a cool-looking villain with a cool voice and threatening attitude. Voiced by Lawrence Fishburne, Thrax is a virus that emerged from a dirty egg that Bill Murray ate, and he goes throughout the body with other germs, planning and making Murray have a common cold, only for him to go extract a hypothalamus from the brain that controls body temperature, giving Murray a high fever. He can instantly kill white blood cells with a single touch of his long finger, and his main focus is to only kill his victim in 2 days, breaking his past record of 3 days in medical books. His design is cool, his voice is cool, he's just a cool villain, and a deadly one. Number 8. Hexxus from Ferngully, The Last Rainforest. Voiced by Tim Curry, Hexxus is known as a slimy, smoky, pollution-filled bad guy. He was once trapped in a tree by the fairies until he is chopped down and released by the leveler. He first starts as a gooey slime, and then a skeleton, and then a big black smoke. He tells the workers and the leveler to go to Ferngully and chop the trees down there, for those are the homes of many animals and all the fairies. As simple as his design is, and of how cool-looking his skeletal form is, there's no denying that Hexxus is a polluting smoke that came back for revenge. His voice is really good, his design very simple, and his hunger for revenge is non-stop. He is one polluting villain that is as good as a skeleton as he is a smoke, and one nobody should come across in the jungle. Unless if he was the black smoke from Lost, that would be cool. Number 7. Carface from All Dogs Go to Heaven. He once was Charlie Barkin's partner in the casino business, but Carface wants to run the casino by himself. So he and his sidekick Killer invite Charlie to a party, get him drunk, and leave him on a dock, only to be hit by a car that Carface pushed over. He also owns a girl named Anna Marie who talks to animals on who will win in a race and uses her skill to win bets. But Charlie takes Anna, and Carface, Killer, and other mean dogs go on a search for Charlie and kill him again. And while he's never shown running the casino, his big concern is not only running it, but also getting rid of Charlie for stealing his girl. And not questioning how Charlie's still alive. He not only tries to kill Charlie with a car, but also with a ray gun and even drowning him. He has a booming and growling voice, he has an intimidating appearance, he smokes, and he's all around memorable. Carface is one baddie that will stop at nothing to get what he wants. Number 6. Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Also known as Charles Montgomery Burns, he's one of the show's best-known bad guys. He blocks out the sun, he takes Bart as his heir, and he tries to make greyhound puppies into a vest. Sure, he does have a sensitive side and everyone makes fun of his age and body structure, but it's the evil side that makes him stand out. His plotting, his evil schemes, his sidekick Smithers, and his great quotes make him a memorable, fun, funny, and a really good villain. Number 5. Cat or Waul from An American Tail, Fable Goes West. Now I'm not against Warren T. Rat from An American Tail. I think he's sort of weak. That, and he changed the sizes from a rat to a cat. How did that happen? For me, Cat or Waul from the sequel is better, in that he acts and looks like a sophisticated feline, yet he's a devious plotter. He convinces the mice to build a new society where cats and mice can live together, but he and the other cats were really going to kill the mice by having them build a giant mousetrap and turning them into mouse burgers. Dressed in red and with a spider as a sidekick and voiced by John Cleese, Cat or Waul is one mean cat who uses his wits and skills to cleverly catch his prey. Number 4. Rothbart from The Swan Princess. Voiced by Jack Palance, Rothbart is an evil sorcerer who only wants to rule King William's kingdom. After being arrested for performing the dark arts, Rothbart seeks revenge by stealing William's only daughter, Odette, and says that if he marries her, they'll both legally rule William's kingdom. Despite the fact that he's not of royal blood. But he also puts a spell on her that changes her into a swan when the moon's reflection leaves the lake, and also changes into the great animal at the end for another 2-minute climax. Much like Maleficent, he's not shown much, puts a spell on a princess, and becomes a creature at the end. But he's a lot of fun to watch, and he's a lot of fun to listen to. Number 3. The Grand Duke of Owls from Rockadoodle. Voiced by Christopher Plummer, the Grand Duke wants to have an eternal night with his henchmen. He sends one of them to distract Chanticleer, for his crowing awakes the sun. But after Chanticleer finishes him off, he forgets to crow, which has him leave to the city and left the farm in darkness, thus having the Duke run everything. Not only does the Duke have a good design and voice, he also has toad bouncers and a fox filmmaker named Pinky to keep Chanticleer from going back to the farm or seeing his friends, who were coming to find him. And he also has a magical breath. Which might not make sense to you, but it's fiction, so let's go with it. His voice is fun to listen to, his design is fun to look at, his henchman Hunch is fun to watch. He's just a fun villain, and one of Don Bluth's well-known. Number 2. Rasputin from Anastasia. Speaking of Don Bluth villains, here's another one of his, Rasputin. He sold his soul for a reliquary that he uses to put a curse on the Romanov family until he died, and yet is like a living zombie who didn't die, for Anya survived his curse. And he uses whatever he can to kill her, derailing the train, having her sleepwalk only to jump off the ship and break the bridge to have her fall off. But the stuff he does to Anya isn't why I love him. It's for his attitude, his design, his use of the reliquary, his animal sidekick Bartok, and Christopher Lloyd doing his voice. He's one enjoyable villain who is a fictionalized version of the real Rasputin, and I never get tired of watching him. And my number 1 favorite animated non-Disney villain is the Digimon villains. But only for the first season. I say this because they're the most memorable and the greatest of the series. In my order, it would be 1. Myodismon, 2. The Dark Masters, 3. Devilmon, and 4. Etamon. Myodismon looks like a vampire at times and acts like one, but his only desire is to find the 8th Digidestined child and kill him. Or her. The Dark Masters are comprised of 4 Mega-level Digimons, a jester named Piedmon, a Metal Sea Monster with a bad John Wayne impression named Metal Sea Dramon, a scrawny little puppet named Puppetmon, of course, and a giant mechanical dinosaur named Machine Dramon. Each of them own a territory of the digital world and had almost defeated the Digidestins. Devilmon is like a big black demon, controlling the black gears that turn good Digimons to bad ones. And Etamon, while being the only comedic villain of the season, had the power to drain the Digimon's energy, while singing and talking like an Elvis Presley impersonator. But all of them have great voices, cool designs, fun sidekicks, and really good attacks. And all those reasons and their motivations are what makes them all my favorite non-Disney villains. And that is that. And sure, there are a lot of non-Disney villains, but be sure to look in the descriptions for honorable mentions. Thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, and tune in next Wednesday for more of Sulli-Ween.